Happy Friday, guys. It's Tom over here at TFC IV MMA. We are here. We're coming off UFC 281 fight week last week, and we're coming into UFC Vegas 65 tomorrow. Real excited for this one. Hopefully, it's just as good as last week's pay-per-view with some iconic finishes, some great fights, and I'm really looking forward to this one. We're just going to do some main card picks and breakdowns, so let's get started. We start off with a great fight, Jack Della Maddalena versus Danny Roberts. Going to be a good old fight. Jack has put on some great performances since coming into the UFC, and he's had two impressive knockouts. Danny Roberts, obviously a good opponent for him. Let's see how it pans out, coming off a loss last time against Trinaldo, and I really think Jack is going to get this one done by KO again. Could possibly be in round one. Let's see. But I think the good bet is Jack inside the distance, which last I checked was around minus 250 or so. If you were to bet the money line, Jack's about minus 600 with Roberts coming in at about a plus 450. So it's one where you're going to have to put a lot of money up front if you're betting on him just to win. But I really think he gets it done inside the distance. Roberts is a good opponent, but I don't think he'll be able to handle it. And I think Jack gets it done. Go right into the next fight. We got Andre Fialho coming into his fifth fight this year, guys. He's been very active, obviously coming off a tough loss against Jake Matthews last time out, but he's going up against Muslim Selaikov, also coming off a tough loss his last time out against the Leech. So will be interesting to see how these guys do, both coming off losses where they got beat pretty bad. So it's going to be good to see how these guys rebound. I really like Fialho. He's coming into the UFC, fought nothing but top level competition since coming in. So I'd love to see him get the win. It's a pretty close pick'em fight in the odds, guys. I believe Fialho's about minus 105 with Selaikov coming in about a minus 115. And I actually like the underdog on this one, guys. I'm going to go Andre Fialho. I don't know if I go knockout or if he just gets the decision. I'm tempted to take the knockout because he has shown good power in his UFC career so far, but we'll see. I just go straight money line on that one at minus 105. I think it's a pretty good price, and that's where we're going there. We've got the heavyweights next up. We got Chase Sherman versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Obviously, Waldo Cortez Acosta coming off a real short turnaround time. Both these guys are coming off wins off Jared Vanderaa. Chase's was obviously much earlier on, though, and Cortez Acosta's came just a couple weeks back. So, quick turnaround. I'm kind of surprised, too, with Jared Vanderaa was eating that leg up with the leg kicks, but apparently didn't do too much damage if Cortez Acosta's already coming back. Last I checked, Waldo was about a minus 215 with Chase Sherman coming in about a plus 185. I think the smart pick in this one is Waldo. He coming off the decision win against Vanderaa, and then before that on the Contender Series. He's looked pretty good, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Chase Sherman got it done. I mean, he put up a good fight against Jared Vanderaa last time, and I know you're going to say, well, Tom, that's Jared Vanderaa. Everybody beats him at this point. But I was pretty impressed with Chase Sherman, especially coming off the fight against Romanov before. I think it was good for him to go back in there, get some confidence, and get the job done. So, like I said, safe pick would be Waldo, but I could see Chase Sherman getting it done. But for the official pick, we're going to go Waldo on this one. Working into the co-main event, we got Ion Cutelaba versus Kennedy. I'm going to botch it, but Njeku. This is going to be a pretty good one. Both of these guys pretty active this year. Ion Cutelaba coming off two straight losses. Ryan Spann, then Johnny Walker. But those are top-level competitions, guys. Kennedy's coming off a win against Roberson, but he did have a loss against Negromiranu earlier this year. So 1-1 his last two, going up against Cutelaba who's 0-2 in his last two. But this is going to be a pretty good jump up in competition for Kennedy. Going to be interesting to see kind of how he handles it. And it's also going to be interesting to see if Cutelaba could come back and maybe get a win. He's been very inconsistent in his UFC career. He'll get a win, and they'll go on a little losing streak, and he's in the losing streak portion of that now. But his back's up against the wall. Last I checked, odds were about Ion Cutelaba was coming in about a plus 150. Kennedy was coming in around a minus 170, which I think are fair odds based off how Cutelaba's looked recently. And I mean, that Incredible Hulk really holds true for Cutelaba. I mean, he just goes out there and he acts crazy in that octagon. But as a fan, I like it. It's entertaining. So I'm actually going to go with the underdog on this one, guys. I think Cutelaba gets it done. I'm probably going to go by knockout, actually. Could possibly be a decision. I think he'll be very active with the jab, though, looking to get it going, and I'm taking him for the win there. Been doing a couple underdogs on this card so far, and I think he keeps it going. Speaking of underdogs, we go into the main event. Derek, the Black Beast Lewis, coming in for a very tough year for Derek Lewis, guys. There's no other way around it. Was beating Tai Tuivasa pretty well in that fight. Gets caught with that elbow, gets knocked out cold. Then the loss against Sergey Pavlovich. Can we all agree? Never let that man fight in Texas again, no matter how much he asks. Don't do it. Don't let him fight in Texas. Do not. And he's going up against Sergey Spivak, the polar bear. So it'll be very interesting on this one, guys. We all know Spivak's very well-versed on the ground with his wrestling, coming off a win against Sakai and Greg Hardy before that. But I know we all make jokes about it, but Derek Lewis just gets up. We all make jokes. He just gets up. But he does. I mean, I saw a competition on Twitter today, and he just stands up. It'll be interesting to see if Spivak can control him on the ground. If not, I think there's a very high likelihood that Derek could knock him out on the feet. I mean, we've seen Spivak get knocked out in the past. Spivak is coming in as a favorite in this one at about a -200, with Derek coming in at about a +170. But I think it even could be closer. I see why Spivak's the favorite. 2 impressive performances. Has looked good since coming to the UFC, beating guys like Tai Tuivasa, but he has also been knocked out, and Derek Lewis is the knockout king. But at the same time, Spivak could knock D-Lew out. But I don't see it happening. I think Derek knows his back's up against the wall. He said it several times in media this week. He knows his back's up against the wall. He's going to be about 20, 25 pounds heavier. And guys, I'm going with another underdog. I'm taking Derek Lewis. You may as well toss it on Derek Lewis by knockout, because that seems, if he's winning, it's going to be by knockout. But that's my picks there, guys. Just to give a quick recap for you, we got Derek Lewis in the main event. We got Ion Cutelaba in the co-main. We got Waldor Cortez Acosta. We got Andre Fialho. And we got Jack De La Maddalena. And that rounds it out for the main card. We do have several impressive fights on the prelims. I just didn't have enough time tonight to dive into all of them. We got Brady Heistand coming in, Ricky Tercios, Miles Johns, all those kind of guys. So several very impressive performances on the prelims. I'm looking forward to watching it. Just didn't have enough time tonight to break it down. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Hope y'all have a great weekend. I look forward to talking to you guys on Sunday with a recap.